Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're discussing a really important topic, fake reviews and online deception. Can you sue for false advertising? Joining me is our attorney, Christine Ferraris, who's going to help us understand what consumers and even businesses should know about online honesty. So, Christine, let's start with the basics. What actually counts as a fake or deceptive review under the law?
Well, fake or deceptive reviews fall under what would be considered false advertising, right? So anytime you put anything out there online that doesn't accurately represent, a service or a product, is false advertising. And so both on the federal level, the Federal Trade Commission is usually the one that is regulating these and putting out regulations about how this, what you can and can't do and what is considered deceptive or unfair. And then as far as on the local state level, attorneys general enforce misrepresentations in advertising, generally under some form of Consumer Protection Act. And here in Arizona, it's the Arizona Consumer Fraud Act.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting to know. So the other question I had is if a business discover a fake review that are damaging like its reputation, what can that business owner do?
Well, they can contact the platform, right, wherever that review is located, whether it be Google or Yelp, or the Better Business Bureau is a place where people go to put reviews and then let them know and respond, and to say that, whether or not they don't know who that person is. But if it's something that they believe is really harmful, they may want to contact a legal somebody with legal experience in defamation law, which you can but then you have the challenge maybe in trying to find whoever that is that made that review. They could be using a fake name and so forth. But I think to respond, and you sometimes see this in responses where I don't know that the person will say, I don't know that you're a customer or potential customer. Um, Please reach out to us. But we don't know who you are or what this is about. But we encourage you to please contact us. That's generally how you can mitigate, whatever harm that might cause.
Yeah, I think that can really be damaging. Like, especially if they create like fake accounts and they try to damage your business on purpose. I think that's like,
Yeah.
especially if you can like
Yes.
maybe see a pattern that's forming in your reviews. I think that's also helpful if you see, okay, this person is commenting something similar and it's just
Yeah.
like following up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and
but
I think there is a procedure for that, through those platforms that they can
mm,
address, at
okay.
least as far
So
as I
what about
understand. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. So, what about consumers? If somebody buys something based of a fake review, um, do they have any legal like recourse or something that they can do?
I mean, I think it depends, Lizette, on what was represented as far as a fake review. I can't think of a specific example myself, but you would want, because it could be the company itself making the fake reviews, right?
Mm. Yeah, that's my
So
thoughts.
yeah. So and you see that sometimes I've seen it with used car dealerships. They'll, get local folks, maybe family members, whatever, to post really positive reviews, right? They've had a really positive experience and blah 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 about whatever, it is. So, I guess it depends on, what it is and how it has affected you. If you bought something based on, a bunch of fake reviews, I think the better question is, and the better guidance is don't rely on reviews to buy something.
Yeah, I think so too. Just make sure,
It's like
you know,
look and see what they say on their website because because they may not be able to be held responsible if it is actually somebody else posting something for whatever reason. I don't think
yeah.
it's going to be a strong argument to say that, hey, I relied on this review or I relied on all these positive reviews, even though people do. It's better to get them to put down like, hey, if it says it in the review, make sure it's actually whatever is on it's on their website too, whatever that is. Like they're representing that, hey, we have a lot of positive reviews or we do this well. That's what you want to rely on. And then make sure whatever it is that you're relying on, it's in whatever the receipt or invoice that you purchase, that it has a certain warranty or that they will repair it if the review says something about something to that effect, that these people are reliable and if you have a problem, you can go back for whatever the product or service is.
Yeah, I usually also I'm gonna be honest. I usually do that too. I look at reviews, especially like when I went to buy my car. Um, well, not buy, I'm renting a car currently. So what I did was you look at different places and then you look usually at the reviews, but then you also look at, how long the company existed and were there any complaints or not, or is it only positive reviews? I think that's also a red flag, especially if there's only positive reviews always, because no company is perfect and there is going to be one or two or three people that's going to be disappointed. So I think that's what stood out for me personally.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
yeah, yeah. It's and look at different platforms, I think is a good thing to do too. I
true.
think it's, different platforms in terms of their reviews of a company or whatever will say certain things. I wouldn't rely on the reviews on the website of, entirely,
That's
right?
true.
I would go to different platforms. Sometimes Yelp will have more, because, they're not connected right to the website. But I do know there are companies out there and they have solicited our law firm as well. It's like how to get rid of reviews, how to get rid of bad reviews, how to improve your reviews. And, I usually delete, 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 but it's something to be aware of, right?
Yeah. So finally, Christine, what steps can an honest business take to stay compliant and build trust online? Basically.
Yeah, that kind of is a kind of good segue into because of what I just said. It's like
Yeah.
don't pay for or post fake reviews because you could be held accountable for that. Now, I say that a consumer may not be able to hold the business accountable, but if a consumer reports, for reviews to the FTC or a state attorney general, they'll investigate, and they have, they can exercise authority that consumers can't and conduct an investigation into if whatever you're advertising, whether it be in a review or whatever, and then you could get in trouble and find yourself you know having to deal with a situation that you really didn't anticipate. And so yeah, so don't pay or post for fake reviews and just address the ones that are if they're negative, just address them honestly and with authenticity. And but I know it's hard. We've had negative reviews from potential clients on um, our website because maybe we didn't take a case or they just weren't happy with how we decided whether, generally speaking, if we decide not to take a case, because we just didn't think we could help that particular consumer and suggested other alternative methods. So I get that businesses have to deal with those kinds of things. Um, and if a review comes from somebody you know, that's known to the business, it's somebody that might be a family member, but also is a client, maybe, include that information, in the post itself. And just, you know, I think responding, with transparency uh, to any review, but, and I say that because with our legal field, we have a little bit of a difficult challenge, and other fields may have the same thing with like a doctor's office and stuff. You're not supposed to disclose, whether a client actually consulted with you or not, or a potential client rather, I'm sorry, or a client. And so, handling reviews while keeping the privilege in mind and being mindful of that is sometimes a tricky path to follow.
Yeah, yeah. So I always say
And I'm
honesty.
sorry, did I make that clear, Lizette? Like what I'm talking about?
Yes, you did. I
Okay.
did understand. So, no, it's perfectly clear. So
Okay.
honesty is always the best policy, I believe. So, and if you
Yes.
make a mistake, because we are all human, and
Mm,
even a business can maybe, not like you mentioned, it's not the client wasn't happy with something or the potential client. So then addressing that and in a professional manner and just trying to do better. Like we always say, we always try to do
yeah.
better and for better client service. And but you're never going to be 100% for everybody. So there are going to be bad
Good
reviews,
point.
but just addressing that, professionally and always, trying to better yourself. So yeah. Um, but overall, I think this was really helpful and especially for other businesses and consumers. I will be posting links in the description below, people, so that you can just review where you can file a complaint if you feel like something is fishy. So, yeah. And then thank you, Christine, for clarifying such an important topic. I really appreciated that, and I think our viewers do too. And I really think this is helpful. And guys, if you have any other information or topics you would like us to discuss, you're more than welcome to drop a comment down below, or just you can also email us. Our website, I will post the link below as well. We have an email address that you can just send us an email, and we'll be happy to respond to you guys. Christine, thank you for your time and may you have a fantastic day. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you,
So
Lizette, and thank you for helping putting this together. I really do appreciate
it's a
it.
pleasure.